We have just a few more minutes before we begin. I do want to make one announcement, however. Somebody lost their keys in the parking lot, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have them right here at the stage, and after the ceremony is complete, if you'll make your way down here, we'll get these keys back to you. We got just a few more minutes before we begin the procession. Thank you for coming tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, or actually Mountain Daylight Time here in Artesia, New Mexico. And it's time to bring you the commencement exercises for the Artesia High School class of 2021. The class motto this year, what takes us back to the past is our memories, what brings us forward is our dreams, as quoted from Jeremy Irons. The class scripture, 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but be an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, and in purity. The class is now being welcomed into the Bulldog Bowl. Let's take a listen and watch. time, we'd like to welcome our radio audience on KSVP, AM 990 and 93.7 FM. I'm Gene Dow. We're coming to you from world-famous Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico, where the stands are pretty full, as we have a great crowd. We have a beautiful night weather-wise for the commencement exercises for the class of 2021. And this is the first graduation held here in Bulldog Bowl in 2 years. As we recall, last year we weren't able to have the graduation ceremonies because of the COVID pandemic. We did try to put together a drive-through graduation ceremony, just not the same as what our graduates are going to enjoy here tonight. Right now, the procession is taking place as the class of 2021 is coming down the track and getting seated. This year, in order to spread things out a little bit, the stage has been placed at the 25-yard line and is facing south, facing the field house. The chairs for the graduates are between the 30 and the 50-yard line, all facing to the north. And the parents are asked to be seated in the bleachers on both sides, on the home and the visiting side of the stands here tonight. And looks like everybody is complying exactly as intended for tonight. The speakers that are going to be presenting their speeches tonight include Presley Skinner, whose speech is entitled, "What is Your Name?" Kaylin Klein, whose speech is "The Road from Which We Came." Then Mr. Danny Parker will have the presentation of honors. He is the Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education. Superintendent of Schools, Mr. John Ross Knoll, will present the Superintendent's Challenge to the class. Artesia High School Principal, Mr. Eric Greer, will present the class, and the Artesia Board of Education will present the diplomas to the graduates. And our Board of Education members include Mr. Lowell Irby, President, Mr. Jeff Bowman, Vice President, Ms. Sherry Weidmeyer, Secretary, Mr. David Conklin, Member, and Mr. Luis Flores, Member. So please enjoy the commencement exercises for the class of 2021 from the Bulldog Bowl here in Artesia, New Mexico. About half the class has come in, so you're going to hear the music, you're going to hear the crowd, and then we'll begin with our speeches in just a moment here on KSVPTV.com and on the radio at KSVP, AM 990 and 93.7 FM. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Artesia Fire Department Honor Guard, the playing of the national anthem by the Artesia High School Band, and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Senior Class President, Mr. Trenton Knowlton.
Please join me in saying our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Please bow your head and pray with me. Lord, thank you for an amazing night to celebrate our accomplishments. Thank you for protecting us as we made amazing memories over the years. Lord, thank you for our administration and teachers who have guided us over the past 13 years, and for our loving parents who have cheered us on. Lord, please be with the class of 2021 as we start our new journey. Please protect and guide us. Lord, please help us use your gifts that you have given us to further other people's lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Please be seated. Mark, you got that other stand? Thank you. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the graduating class of 2021. Tonight's mission is to honor all graduates for a job well done. Please remember that all graduates and their families deserve the opportunity to be recognized and honored tonight. The school board, the superintendent, and the high school administration have asked the graduating class of 2021 to respect all their classmates during the graduation program. After the ceremony is complete, there will be plenty of time to celebrate this year's graduates. We're asking that all in attendance also honor this request for all graduates and their families. Thank you for your cooperation. We will begin this evening with speeches given by Ms. Presley Skinner with "What is Your Name?" followed by Mr. Caitlin Klein with "The Road from Which We Came."
"What is your name?" the lunch ladies in elementary would ask in the cafeteria as they put in the computer what we were having for lunch that day. "What is your name?" asked the substitutes at Zia as they took roll. "What is your name?" asked the teachers at Park when we inevitably got lost downstairs. "What is your name?" asked members of the community as they would see us in our uniforms, polos, and other attire representing Artesia High. "What is your name?" asked the Herb Jones employees as they handed us our cap and gown. When asked such a simple question, it's easy to respond. Our parents spent hours scouring over a list of baby names, looking for a name that would perfectly fit us. Not only will it be with us for the rest of our lives, but it'll be the first thing that we tell people when we introduce ourselves. By the time we get to high school, not only is your name known by almost everyone in our grade, but it's also associated with something. Whether it be playing on the football team, being a member of the band, having a cool car, being active in the FFA, having a beautiful singing voice. The list can go on and on and on. On the opposite side of that, however, maybe your name has a rougher association with it, and you feel like it's these associations that will carry you through life. Maybe you've made mistakes, and you feel like this is what people will remember you for. But standing here tonight, I tell you there's not a single one of us here who's never made a mistake, and there never will be. Tonight, as we throw our caps in the air, it changes who we are forever. These associations, whether good or bad, are wiped away, and we have the chance to become whoever we want to be. High school is over, and we again have the chance to introduce ourselves for the first time to the world. Two of the many lessons which this pandemic has taught me is 1, speak up so people can hear you through your mask. And 2, never take anything for granted. Tonight, I encourage you to embrace the challenges we face this year. Knowing that anything can be taken away from us at any moment, I encourage you to seize the opportunity which we've been given to begin our new lives as adults. And one day, when the masks come off, don't stop speaking loudly and clearly as though you still had one on. These masks muffle us, they suffocate us, but don't let it drown out what you have to say. Shout out to the world who you are, what your name is, what you stand for, and that you're from Artesia, because being from Artesia is something to be proud of. For 13 years, we've worked hard to learn and to prepare for this very moment. So take this opportunity to bring along the good and to leave behind the bad which we've experienced. This is our chance to start fresh and become the person that we always hoped we would be. So tonight, as we begin the rest of our lives, I ask you, what is your name? Thank you.
Bulldogs, friends, and family. What a crazy year it has been. It feels like our whole senior year has happened in all of just these 2 months. But let's talk about the journey that got us here tonight. Let's start with our first day of school. How many of us went to Grand Heights? I myself am a proud Tiger alumni. Shout out to Miss Worley, she's awesome. The time we spent in the kindergarten classroom seems so long ago, yet so familiar. Whether it was nap time, story time, timeout, or dare I say, getting our sunshine moved, these memories and experiences have created the foundation to be the students we are today. The transition into elementary school was so big and scary, but exciting. It's crazy to think about how much we grow and develop in just those few years. I reminisce and laugh about the nicknames we had for our opposing schools. Whether you, like me, were Grand Yeso Thunderbirds, or as some called them, the Yeso Thunder Turds, or even a Yucky Yuck or Hermosa Super Pooper. Our Bulldog pride was sparked here, even if our mascot wasn't a Bulldog just yet. The wind's fighting me here just a sec. Going from elementary to Zia was something that I think we were ready for, but that was a little scary too. Having more than one teacher, get out of here. On top of it all, we soon found out that Zia's campus was more like a compass. Having all these hallways named after the different directions was weird, man. We had no idea which way was which. You got the North Hall, the South Hall, that one hall that's on the west side but was never referred to as the west side. Zia taught us how to function in a scheduled day and how to work in situations we aren't used to. And on top of it all, how to tell north from south. And that's where we came together. One thing comes to mind when thinking about Park Junior High: stairs. I can comfortably say that most of us have probably fallen up or down the stairs. I remember my third day. The bus was late from ag. I soon realized this was going to be a trend. Being late freaked little Kaylin out, so rushing down the stairs with my binders, bag, and lunch, I slid down the bottom flight of stairs. Bloody elbows and all, I showed up to math class. While this experience definitely hurt a little bit, the changes we made at Park are notable. I believe that this is where we really began to find ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our interests. And we were preparing to become high schoolers, the very tip top of the food chain. The halls of AHS, crowded, loud, and full of memories. The everyday banter you hear in the high school hallways always made me laugh whenever I thought about it later on. The relationship status of our friends, the math tests we were all freaking out about, and the activities, games, and competitions that in some ways divided us into groups, but made us a diverse and interesting group altogether. As sophomores, we were learning our ways around. As juniors, we were hitting our stride and gearing up for senior year. We would be on top. We could see our dreams developing and our plans taking shape. Who could have known that those halls would be hauntingly quiet by the fourth 9 weeks, and then stay that way for over a year? This school year will be remembered for many years to come, in family stories, textbooks, on the news, and probably even on the History Channel. Think of the history that we have just lived through. At times, the feeling of isolation was overbearing. At times, we felt defeated, frustrated, and alone. But here we sit together today. We persevered. I'll admit that at times the whole year felt pointless, and yet now I know we were meant to walk on this path. The waves of changes in rules, expectations, and freedoms over the last 14 months have had their part into shaping us into the young adults we are becoming today. We are learning how to hang on to what we believe in, stand together even in our differences, and be thankful for what we have. And most of all, appreciate the power of relationships among us Bulldogs. It felt like we unknowingly left our friends behind in the last day that we walked in the halls of AHS all the way back in March 2020. But here we are together today, maybe appreciating each other and the people who fight for us a little more now than ever. The years of experiences at all the different schools and classrooms and our walk through this monumental historical time have led to this one point in our life. The point where we dive in and go for it, whatever it is that we want. Class of 21, this year was tough. But you know what? We did it. We made it. If nothing else, we proved that we can find our light even in a dark time, so we can persevere. So let's never forget that we've had the most wild, unique, challenging, and remarkable senior year of all time. Let's use this experience to shape our futures and influence the world around us. Thank you all. And remember, it's great to be a Bulldog.
Excellent job. Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you for sharing your heart with your fellow classmates. Mr. Danny Parker, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education, will now announce the honor students of the class of 2021 and provide a summary of the scholarship listings.
Thank you, Mr. Greer. I have the privilege tonight of recognizing our honors and our highest honor graduates. The honors graduates I'm going to announce have maintained at least a 3.5 grade point average over their 4 years in high school. Graduates, please stand as I call your name. Audience, please hold your applause until I've called everyone's name. Jonathan Arredondo, Bianca Baeza, Ellington Baggerly, Paulina Barrientos, Jonathan Beatty, Dominic Bedwell, Kaylee Boone, Caden Brown, Corbin Butler, Desley Carrasco, Jada Catano, Heather Chevette, Dorian Cortese, Jacob Creighton, Demi Dominguez Ortiz, Adam Folmar, Marlene Gallegos, Alyssa Garthwaite, Evan Gibson, Alondra Gomez, Noah Griffin, Nevea Hernandez, Jacobo Herrera, Kylie Hewitt, Caleb Horn, Parker Johnson, Trenton Lee, Reagan Lund, Jaime Molinar, J.W. Nikes, Javen Ortega, Janelle Ortega, Alexis Perez, Blanca Reyes, Maria Reyes, Ethan Rivera, Randy Ruvacaba, Roberto Silvas, and Zachary White. Congratulations, honors graduates. Okay. I think that's a good idea. Honors graduates, would you all stand back up? We want to see how many of you are, and we want to be able to give you a big round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to recognize the highest honors graduates. These graduates have maintained a GPA of 4.0 or better all through high school. Again, graduates, please stand, and let's stay standing. And I thank the audience for waiting to applaud until all are recognized. Alyssa Lieb, Amara Barton, Kyler Beltran, Devin Blackwell, Karina Bolaños, Sadie Butler, Joseph Semino Jr., Cord Cox, Stephanie Cuenca, Rihanna De La Rosa, Hannah Duncan, Emma Gallegos, Gabriel Grado, Riley Greer, Devin Harrison, Clay Harwell, Taylor Henry, Alexander Kern, Kyra Kimple, Brooke Kennebrew, Kaylin Klein, Trenton Knowlton, Alejandra Lopez, Braxton McDonald, Jaron Morrison, Jesse Ornelas, Madison Parker, Caden Pinson, Zachary Pinson, Estefani Rodriguez, Karim Rojo, Jace Salgado, Brianna Salinas, Presley Skinner, Madeline Sterling, and Sophia Tena Varela. Congratulations, highest honor graduates. Give them a big round of applause. You may be seated. All of these graduates have worked very hard, and tonight we celebrate the generosity of a community that loves students and wants to see them succeed. We've seen that more this year than any other year. It is a great honor for me to announce that through the unique generosity of those in our community, many of these graduates will receive financial assistance in furthering their educations. 98 of these students have earned awards from our community and their educational institutions that total $3,303,982. That's $3.3 million sitting out here. That's amazing. I have the $2. Coretta Scott King said, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." I think we can say our community is compassionate about kids. And I challenge you, seniors, remember the greatness of this place, which has given you the extraordinary gift we call opportunity. Each one of you has the opportunity to do great things with what you've been given. Congratulations.
Mr. John Ross Noah will now deliver the Superintendent's Challenge to the class of 2021.
Seniors, as you come across the stage tonight, I know you'll be hurrying to get your diploma, to get your picture taken, but I want to encourage you to take a moment and look around you, because it is a spectacular view from this stage. So take that moment and remember it forever, because it happens once in a lifetime. Good evening, and what a day of celebration this is. Probably like many of you, I have prayed every day, not only for your health and safety, but also for no disruptions to academics, to athletics, to activities, and to graduations. We're here tonight celebrating you in the bowl, and I'm so pleased to be part of this with you. Congratulations to each and every one of you on this historic accomplishment. Never before has it taken such a collective effort of school, families, and our community to support you in getting to this point. So before we turn our attention to you, seniors, I invite you to stand, look up into the stands, and join me in giving our loved ones, the Artesia Public School staff, and our community a round of applause. Please stand and join me. Thank you very much. But even with all of the support you were provided and the reminders that you matter, that you're not alone, that we're thankful for you, and to never give up, you were ultimately the ones who had to get it done. And we're so impressed and proud of you for it. The past 14 months for some have been perhaps just a nuisance, while for others they have resulted in great struggles, academically, financially, emotionally, and even in the loss of loved ones. There's been debate and division over mask wearing, vaccines, and of course, the infamous colored county map. But regardless of the impact on you personally, lessons have been learned, and I believe we are stronger for them. The last time I spoke at a graduation was when I was in the class of 1987. We had the distinction of graduating in the auditorium due to severe thunderstorms that night. Of course, the way I remember it, the roof over the stage in the auditorium leaked so much that night that we might as well just stayed outside. But fortunately tonight, it is gorgeous, and we're right where we should be in Bulldog Bowl. So over the years, I've thought a lot about the honor of giving my first speech at graduation as superintendent and what I might share. I've thought about former superintendent Mr. Mike Phipps and him urging graduates each year to never, 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 never give up. I've thought about my predecessor, Dr. Crick Caton, who had to think fast every year because on his way to the podium, his kids would text him a random word like chicharrones or labradoodle, and he was expected to work it into his speech, and he always did. I purposely have not checked my phone in case my kids or his kids got a bright idea for me. And I will tell you, my phone has been going crazy in my pocket, and I am going to check it when I get done speaking. Nevertheless, it truly is an honor to be part of this once-in-a-lifetime experience for you. I learned early on as a teacher that good teachers steal ideas from other good teachers, that good coaches steal ideas from other good coaches, and superintendents will take help wherever we can get it. Tonight, I'm going to steal from a study that our Sunday school class has been doing called Forward. It is focused on 6 actions to help your heart, your mind, and your body to look ahead and move forward. These 6 actions are dream, focus, risk, pursue, believe, and finish. Now, we've taken 6 weeks to study these things, and I know none of you are here to hear me talk about 6 weeks of material, but I am going to share 3 points that stood out to me that I believe are relevant to you tonight. First, whatever your dream, Reinforce your dream with determination. Assume you will encounter obstacles and unexpected problems as you bring your dream to life. Plan for those obstacles the best you can, but even when you cannot see a way forward, remain determined. Second, stay excited, enthusiastic, and energized about your assignment. Knowing and trusting our purpose keeps us motivated to take risks, find joy in what we are doing, and trust that the best is yet to come. And third, serve others selflessly. You have a gift, and with that gift comes a responsibility to use your gift to bless others. Last week, as I was searching for a closing thought to share with you, I had the opportunity to meet individually with all of our district administrators and principals, and we had some great conversations. One of those that I met with was Mr. Larry Combs, who's retiring from education after 40 years. I asked Mr. Combs, what is it that you most appreciate about your career in education? And he simply said, the kids have taught me so much. After 40 years as a teacher, what stood out most to him is what his students had taught him. So class of 21, tonight, on behalf of myself, the Artesia Public Schools, and the City of Champions, I want to say thank you for all that you have taught us. And my challenge to you is that you continue teaching and learning with determination, with enthusiasm, and service to others. Class of 2021, there is no doubt that you have done your part in keeping it great to be a Bulldog. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Noel. Members of the Board of Education, Mr. Noel, faculty, parents, and members of the graduating class of 2021. The mission of Artesia Public Schools is to develop each individual student towards self-reliance and understanding that he or she can make a difference and can make a worthy contribution to society. The Artesia Public Schools are responsible for teaching basic competencies to students as they work towards mastery of skills and knowledge. Our schools are responsible for assisting students in acquiring and displaying desirable personal qualities and values. I know from working with the class of 2021 for the last 3 years that the school district, the parents, and the community members of Artesia have successfully completed this mission. The class of 21 has exceeded all of our expectations and have been excellent role models for our underclassmen and younger generations. Class of 2021, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I've appreciated your compassionate spirit, your persistence, your honesty, your integrity, and the positive climate that you've created over the past few years at Artesia High School. You've been an absolute wonderful group to work with and be around. You've truly set an example for your underclassmen to follow. These qualities are important and will serve you well in every stage of life. Now, graduates, this is the last time that you're going to be officially gathered as students. You see, right now, you are students known as the Artesia High School class of 2021. But with this commencement ceremony tonight, you'll officially become Artesia High School alumni class of 2021. And with this night, that you become alumnus of Artesia High School, this is also the last chance that I have to speak encouragement and life into you as a group. And as the last chance that I have to speak encouragement and life into you, I've chosen just a few quotes to share with you. The first one is this. Now, a lot of this first one ties right in with Mr. Noel said, and I promise we didn't talk to each other at all about what we're going to say tonight. The first quote says, "Tough times never last, but tough people do." Tough times never last, but tough people do. Not to make this evening about the pandemic that we are all so very aware of, I do want to speak to some of the lessons that we have learned about ourselves and from each other. One thing I've learned from you all is how tough you are. You are the epitome of being tough. I have learned many lessons from my parents, and one of them is how to be tough in order to get through life. How to exemplify some grit and some tenacity. The grit and tenacity that you have had to muster up to finish your high school career will serve you well. Because guess what? Life can certainly be tough sometimes. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how well off you might be. Sometimes life can just be tough. And knowing how to get through tough times successfully will set you up better on the other side of those tough times. So remember, tough times never last, but tough people do. The next quote I would like to share with you goes like this. What you focus on, you empower. What you focus on, you empower. You see, another lesson that you have recently learned is that you have to focus on the task at hand in order to be successful. If you focus on how tough a situation is, then you're giving the situation power over your ability to overcome the obstacle. Only give a situation the proper amount of tension to know how to overcome the obstacle in order to complete the task. As you go off and begin the next chapter of life after high school, there will be many opportunities to lose your focus. Life can sometimes be full of distractions. Only give distractions and obstacles enough attention to either avoid it or overcome it. Focus on the task at hand in order to be successful at whatever it is that you set your hand to. Focus on being successful in college. Focus on being the best employee that you can be. Focus on how to be the best person that you can be, and don't let anything allow you to lose your focus on the goals and steps that you have set to be successful in this life. What you focus on, you empower. Finally, life's a journey, not a destination. Yesterday, during graduation practice, I told you all to simply enjoy the rest of the evening and to enjoy this evening. Enjoy every step of the way and just take it all in. Yes, being tough in order to get through tough times is important. Yes, focus on the task at hand in order to be successful. But life is more than just the end journey of being successful, whatever that might look like for you. Don't forget to enjoy the journey of life along the way. Stop to smell the roses from time to time. Jesus of Nazareth tells us that he came that we might have life and have it to the full. And you know, your class scripture that you chose can serve as a good guide to live life to the full. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Live out what Paul writes to Timothy when it comes to setting a good example in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity. Let me encourage you tonight to live life to the full. Take enjoyable vacations. Spend time with family and friends. Go on ventures just because. Live life to the full because life's a journey, not a destination. Graduates, we love you. We wish you the very best that life has to offer. Live each day to the fullest potential, and we are extremely proud of you. And may God bless the class of 2021. Mr. Knoll and board members, These members of the class of 2021 have successfully completed all the state and local requirements for graduation from Artesia High School. It gives me great pleasure to present them with their diplomas. Diplomas and certificates will be presented by the Artesia Board of Education. Please stand as I call your name. Mr. Lowell Irby, President. Mr. Jeff Bowman, Vice President. Mrs. Sherry Widmeyer, Secretary. Mr. David Conklin, Member. And Mr. Luis Flores, Member. Our central office administration consists of Mr. John Ross Knoll, Superintendent. Mr. Danny Parker, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education. Mr. Mike Worley, Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education. Mr. Thad Phipps, Assistant Superintendent of Operations. And Mrs. Cody Hannigan, Director of Special Education. The board members are going to be assisted by Mr. Mark McAllister, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Anna Kelly, Assistant Principal. Mr. Cooper Henderson, Athletic Director. Ms. Tammy Burnell, Secretary. Ms. Leanne Thomas, Receptionist. Mr. Raul Martinez, Attendance Officer. Mrs. Debbie Kinnebrew, Mrs. Adrian Blackburn, and Ms. Eva Cabasuela, Counseling Staff. In the press box this evening, announcing names, we have Mrs. Lou Lopez, Registrar, and Mr. Michael Mondragon, Teacher and Coach. And last but certainly not least, the counselor for the class of 2021, Mrs. Haley Goff. Artesia High School class of 2021. The moment you have been waiting for is finally arrived. It's now time to present you with your diplomas. All right, guys, hold on, wait. The time that you have been waiting for 13 years has finally arrived. It's time to present your diplomas. Stand up and be happy. Rows 1 and 2, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Zane Montgomery. Presley Skinner. Kaylin Klein. Brooke Kinnebrew. Trenton Knowlton. Joseph Samino. Jace Salgado. Madison Parker. Kaylin Peraza. Mariah Lopez. Ashley Orozco. Devin Blackwell. Elena Orozco. Nevea Hernandez. Wyatt Peak. Zachary White. Zach Penson. Kyra Kimple. Parker Johnson. Emma Gallegos. Braxton McDonald. Cassidy Branch. Amara Barton. Sadie Butler. Taylor Henry. Kaylee Boone. Rihanna De La Rosa. Alyssa Garthwaite. Clayt Harwell. Riley Greer. Hannah Duncan. Adrian Goff. Ethan Rivera. Alejandra Lopez. Cord Cox. Michaela Letcher. Devin Harrison. Paul Ontiveros. Jesse Ornelas. Nicholas Ornelas. Row 1 and 2, please return to your seats. Rows 3 and 4, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Sofia Tena Varela. Nubia Clara Aguilar. Stephanie Rodriguez. Damie Dominguez Ortiz. Karim Rojo. Marlene Gallegos. Kyler Beltran.
I'll get this one.
Caden Williams. Caden Pinson. Paris Matthews. Alyssa Lieb. Jacqueline Ramirez. Alexander Kern. Heather Chavette. Jaron Morrison. Marley De Hoyos. Blanca Reyes. Karina Bolaños. Brianna Salinas. Stephanie Cuenca. Reagan Lund. Gabrielle Grotto. Madeline Sterling. Kimry Luna. Javen Ortega. Araya Lopez. Jacob Creighton. Kaylee Wagner. Jonathan Beatty. Audrey Perez. Bianca Baeza. Elisandro R.J. Reza. Jonathan Arredondo. Mahali Lozada. Halliton Baggerly. Myra Villa. Delcy Carrasco. Ana Cristina Luevano Olivas. Paulina Barrientos. Valeria Guadalupe Jimenez Gonzalez. Rows 3 and 4, please return to your seats. Rows 5 and 6, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Jaime Molinar. Alondra Gomez. Jada Cataño. Michaela Salinas. Dorian Cortese. Candice Menifee. Carlos Enriquez. Maria Reyes Gomez. Caden Brown. Roberto Morales Jr. Roberto Silvas. Bethany Chavarria. Alexandro Salinas Jr. Adam Folmar. Caden Salih. Caleb Pinson. Corbin Butler. Caden Letcher. Alexis Perez. Demetrius Montes. Trenton Lee. Joe Palma. Jacobo Herrera. Kylie Hewitt. Dulce Chaparro. Janelle Ortega. Noah Griffin. Dominic Bedwell. Randy Ruvacaba. J.W. Nikase. DeAndre Calvillo. Madison Segura. Destiny Grotto. Leah Heisler. Chloe Edwards. Madison Woods. Brianne Body. Adrian Galindo. Simon Jimenez. Miracle Perez. Rows 5 and 6, please return to your seats. Rows 7 and 8, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Lance Gage. Breckley Gray. Azuraya Perez. Caitlin Simshauser. Junior Baeza. Michaela Kennan. Elisandro Velo. Jesse Watts. Danielle Knowlton. Jennifer Russell. Reina Pina. Nadia Salmon. Manuel Miranda. Andrea Miranda. Robert Jonte Rodriguez. Fabian Bolanos. Victor Araiza. Gabriel Rodriguez. Katie McKee. Carissa Carnero. Aaron Davis. Madison Pollard. Alani Rivera. Sierra Bramwell. Jaylene Chavez. Adriana Flores. Julio Baeza. Alyssa Fierro. J.C. Carvajal. Octavio Esquivel. Andres Rodriguez. James Mann. Desiree Gomez. Crystal Romero. Marcos Anchondo. Summer Orozco. Julian Gutierrez. Emmett Clark. Aaliyah Rodriguez. Jessica Coda. Rows 7 and 8, please return to your seats. Rows 9 and 10, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Scott Bourgeois. Ernesto Montanez. Damian Baeza. Michael Matthews. Marcos Tavera. Jorge Herrera. Itzel Fierro. Keisha Montoya. Sierra Chavez. Deanna Martinez. Justin Tice Ortiz. James Landfair. Dylan Torres. Kyle Owens. Andrea Jimenez. Mirena Dominguez. Alexis Cervantes. Amaya Chavarria. Abraya Galdine. Cyan Perez.
Darian Mendoza. Ian Dodge. Alex Burton. Nancy Parada. Wiley Miller. Mark Calloway. Joa James. Trent Spindler. Hayden Watkins. Allison Miles. Jaime Flores. Anthony Rodriguez. Xavier Lada. Edgar Pacheco. Pete Hernandez. Robert Stansbury. Elijah Gutierrez. Logan Owens. Tony Twitchell. Ethan Scopp. Nikki Stormon. Abigail Bench. Rows 9 and 10, please return to your seats.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Well, it is customary for the graduating class to show the ending of their high school career by moving their tassels from the right to the left. Class of 2021, it is now your turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Artesia High School alma mater and fight song. To the right. Thank you very much for coming, and that concludes this evening's events.
And the graduating seniors are now heading back to get their actual diplomas since they behaved themselves properly. And that will conclude our broadcast of the commencement exercises for the class of 2021 at world-famous Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico. We want to say a special thanks to Isaiah Torres and his entire crew. He was the producer for tonight's event. This is his final event that he's doing for us. A couple of baseball games coming up, but we want to thank him for the great work that he's done for us as well. Thanks for joining us tonight, and when you see these graduating seniors, be sure and congratulate them on completing their classes and wish them well in their future endeavors. Thanks for listening, everyone.